All right, welcome, fight fans, to another live stream. We're going to be watching and scoring what is considered the greatest cruiserweight fight of all time, or at least world title fight, maybe. We will get Alex to clarify that shortly. We're going to change things up a little bit this week, where we will be diving straight into the fight that we're watching, and then later on we'll be discussing the fight results of the last couple of weekends, and we'll be looking ahead to the next few weeks of fights and discussing all the action that's going to come up and take place. So if you are just joining us for the first time, you will, if you want to join into this in the scoring, you will need to create a account at fightscore.com. The instructions are on the screen now, and we'll keep these here for the first few minutes of the video, so you can take some time just to join, register, log in, join our scoring group, and then find the Dwight Qawi versus Evander Holyfield fight that we're going to be scoring today. So on the call, as usual, I've got Alex Vega. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Glad to be here and looking forward to this fight. Like you said, one of the greatest cruiserweights, if not the number one greatest cruiserweight fight of all time.
Good stuff. And also on the line, we've got Josh from 86 Boxing. How you doing, mate?
Hey, doing well. All is good. Happy to be on here once again.
Perfect. It's good to have you. So as I just said, we're going to change things up a little bit this time around. We're going to go straight into the boxing action. Alex, are you able to give us a bit of a quick introduction to this fight? We're going to go full steam ahead and go straight into it.
Gladly. So first fighter up, let's go with the Evander Holyfield. If you do not know who this wonderful fighter is, he was the bronze medalist at the '84 Olympics in Los Angeles, was disqualified for hitting after the break as he was dominating New Zealand's Kevin Barry. It was a big protest. They tried to, even the Yugoslavian gold medalist told Evander to come up on the podium as he felt as much as many people did. He was the number one fighter there. So he enters his bout about 11-0, 8 KOs, first title fight, and barely 2 years of pro. So let's move on to the opponent. Actually, the champion in this fight, Dwight Muhammad. I believe pronunciation is Qawi. I could be wrong. He was born Dwight Braxton before converting to Islam in the 80s. Actually found his liking for boxing while serving time in prison, turning pro once he came out at about 25 years old. Was a champion, WBC champion at light heavyweight. Became a two-weight champion about 3 fights prior to this. Defeated, tough name, Pia Cross, I believe, in South Africa for the WBA Cruiserweight title. And he had just defeated Leon Speaks, 6-round TKO, entering 26-2-1 with 15 KOs.
Perfect. That's nicely introduced. Thanks, Alex. So just a quick go over the instructions before we actually get into it for those that are just joining. If you want to score the fight with us and you want to be part of the group so we can see our average scorecard and stuff like that, you need to be a registered user at fight-score.com/register. Or if you've already signed up, you can just go to the login page. Once you're logged in, right on your dashboard, you're able to quickly join a group. You just need to enter an access code in there and hit join. That access code is 0DA5ED. It is also on the stream description and on your screen right now. And then if you want to find this fight to be able to create a scorecard, you need to just go into the classic fights section from the menu. Or there is a short code on the screen if you'd rather type that out instead. So once everyone's there, and there are a few people in the chat, so hopefully a few people might be joining in. Hello to Boz and Mr. Info. It's good to have you on board again. This time we're going to get straight into the boxing. So I believe that Josh and Alex, you should both be able to see the fight on our call. and then we will. Good stuff. I think we've done with the intros. I think we're just straight into the fight. So let's play and let's get to it.
Back live in Atlanta at the Omni. I'm Al Troutwig along with Alex Swallow. The bell rings and this is round one.
This fight is on July 12th, 1996, and here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni.
Yeah, and that was 36 years ago, last week, I believe. So that's quite a long time back. Also, worth noting, this is a 15-round fight, so we're in for the long haul.
Cool. This is my first time seeing this fight, actually.
Yeah,
Mine too.
same for me. So it should be cool. So it looks like it's a quick
Obvious size difference.
Yeah. A lot taller.
Yeah, there it goes. See, 6 inches. I think Qawi's listed at about 5'7".
Oh, wow.
Holyfield's about 23 years old, and Qawi is 33.
So it's a good start for Holyfield. He's come out quicker.
Difficult to penetrate his defenses, but right now, grimacing. Holyfield trying to penetrate with the left. Right now, the biggest difference is the reach and the speed. Evander is just quicker than Dwight. Evander, both fighters are light heavyweights. Evander outgrew that division. I think Dwight ate himself out.
I was going to say, it's if people are looking at the trunks for the difference, then you're out of luck.
They both have high boots on, looks like.
This is the division that the WBC and IBF call the Cruiserweight division.
I prefer to box in high tops, high ones. I don't know why.
Once more well known as the Camden Buzzsaw, and the white trunks with red trim. A good left-right
So I'm watching this. I don't think this is going to last too long, boys. Looks like Holyfield's going to get the job done. It's a good start.
Nice short left hook. I mean, he's bouncing beautifully. Looks like they said, the speed difference is it's obvious.
He's beating the old man up. Oh, nice. He's backing straight up. He should be moving from side to side. Stay within punching range. There, he moves to his right, away from the Qawi right hand.
Qawi had some low-key quickness to him.
Championship bout between Qawi and Holyfield, and it's off to a great start. We'll be back.
So that's the first round.
Nice
Oh,
counter right
Jesus
through.
Christ.
His
Okay.
upper body movement.
Oh yeah, this one's quick right here. They've cut out the moment. So.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a pause. Give us a minute. You got a minute, boys. I'm going to have to be on the ball with this one. So, first round in the bag. That went really quick. But to me, it was an obvious Holyfield round. He was just quicker. He was on the front foot. He was landing almost at will at points.
Yeah, he was kind of controlling the action there, having his type of fight.
All right, I'll continue. That's about a minute, so we'll try and be real judges.
We're live in Atlanta. Evander Holyfield with a big height advantage over Dwight Qawi, and lots of punches were thrown. And as Alex mentioned in the first round, the big question with Qawi as he throws a lunging left to the midsection of Holyfield is how many of those punches get through that good defense of his. There was one moment that I was waiting for.
So Boz has just said in the chat, I think this was Holyfield's 13th pro fight. Did you cover that in the intro, Alex? I think that's about right. It was early on in his career, wasn't it?
Yes, I have written down 11-0 this as a 12th fight.
12th fight, so even earlier. He is pretty unrecognisable, to be fair, as someone who, were watching him in the mid to late 90s and then all the way up till he retired.
guard almost at 50.
Where Qawi wants to be.
Oh yeah.
Now here he is in close.
You would think this is definitely in
Like Qawi to Holyfield.
Dwight's territory to be on the inside.
Yeah, he needs to shell up and get close. Gritting down on that gum shield, isn't he?
Seems to have a nice counter right when on the Holyfield's jab as well. He seems to have already found the distance and the timing of it.
Oh yeah. He's slipping it in there over the top a little bit.
Short little left hooks to the body. Nothing damaging, but still, no, finding the punch placement. See, look, that counter right again. So he's shooting it.
All the other fights, that was the maximum. And that 15-round distance is an intimidating thing, Al. Even for fighters Marvin Hagler, the first time he did it, in his first try for the world middleweight title against Vito Antuofermo, he was intimidated after round 10. He was in unknown territory. There's none of that smiling talking from Dwight Qawi. Not yet. He's taking some licks from Holyfield, but now here comes Qawi back. And Holyfield slides off the ropes.
Oh, that's a nice right hook.
And Evander pulling straight back and both
So, last 30 seconds. He's having a bit more success, Qawi, but I'm not sure he's done enough.
Qawi is cut. He has never been cut in his career. Neither has Holyfield.
And a cut, apparently.
Fighters have ever been down in their career. I don't see the cut yet.
Whoa, got a bit feisty at the end there.
Intense.
Evander Holyfield certainly knows what it is to not hear a bell or hear a referee's instructions.
So that was a probably more interesting round in terms of how close it was.
Some of the action from the second round.
In that first minute, Holyfield wasn't really in his legs, and as the round progressed, he was landing nice shots, landing clean shots. So
The uppercut would be a tremendous punch for Evander with Dwight bending over and being so tough to hit from on top.
Thankfully, we had a break.
his upper body
between
movement
rounds.
was beautiful. Very smooth with his upper body
Still
movement.
looking for the cut that I heard Lou Duva exclaim about. I don't see Eddie kind of working on a cut in the corner. Wesley moves on to the chief second. There's the Holyfield corner. Lou Duva saying, just relax. Dwight Qawi's record 26-2-1 with 15 knockouts.
That seemed like quite a long minute then between rounds. But that's good. Give us a bit of time.
Couple of big punches from the left and another one from the right.
Junior heavyweight. This fight is actually at 190 pounds. You know, today's cruiserweights, the limit's at 200.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Look at Holyfield go here.
Alex, he's only in round 3 and he's using so much energy. Exactly right. The point I was trying to make before that flurry. If he has any doubts about his stamina, a warning there by referee Vinny Raynaud to Qawi about low blows. Dwight Qawi at his size is going to hit low and he's going to hit low often. And he just did it again. And a warning to Qawi. And still he stalks and comes in again. Head first, gloves up. Evander expended a lot of energy early in this round.
Yeah, that's where Qawi needs to be.
The key to the fight is whether he can,
Nice shots there inside.
because he's going to get Qawi in his face all afternoon. A right from Qawi sent the sweat
Catching
Certainly like a
Evander with his
pit
hands
bull.
down.
Yeah.
He's definitely having more success here. So, you know, halfway through this round now, and at the start, Holyfield was in control, but Qawi's he's brought it back.
territory. I'm not saying he's not holding his own inside, but he doesn't have to be there.
That's a nice uppercut.
Right uppercut from Qawi got into the chin of Holyfield. Boy, they're exchanging so many punches. Qawi not blocking as many as I thought he might. Low blow by Qawi and then a low blow in retaliation by Holyfield. He may only have 11 pro fights, but he's learned that you have to fend.
There you go, confirmed as 11 pro fights.
Qawi, the thick neck, built like a tree trunk, and Holyfield, the body beautiful, tall and slender. One statistic we didn't have in the tail of tape: Holyfield has a 29-inch waist as against Qawi's 36-inch waist.
Are they body shaming here? What's going on? What's happening?
28-inch waist, man. Gosh.
This is
What an
this.
interesting round.
Yeah, this is a tough one to score, man. It's been a good round for both
Yeah.
in different ways.
Yeah, Qawi certainly in the mix. It's just like Evander is slightly outworking him, slightly.
Yeah, that was a fun round. Close, man. I'll just give you a minute before we resume the video. It's another one where they've they've skipped out the minute break.
Cool.
But I am on the ball, so we're all good. So just a quick look into the chat. The Mr. Info says it was a slugfest round. That's what it was. Bozzy's threatening spoilers, so nobody read the chat. All right, my scores are in. Hopefully your scores are in. Let's continue. I think we'll do a pause after round 5, with it being a 15 rounder, and we'll have a look at the analysis. It looks like Holyfield's bouncing again. He's keeping that distance. I think he learnt a bit in that last round.
Being on the ropes, it's not a good option for you.
Certainly. Definitely a benefit for Qawi, given his size.
Qawi isn't fresh as a daisy either, don't get me wrong. He's expended a lot of energy and he's taken a lot of punches from a power.
Thing is, Evander's choosing to be there. It's not being cut off.
Yeah.
Yelling from the corner, turn him, spin around, get off the ropes, and finally, Holyfield is able to do that. There is not as much
Landed some nice shots there, Holyfield. Couple of undercuts. Quite a lot of low blows going on. Both of them, I've noticed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, certainly a high work rate between the two for cruiserweight or close to cruiserweight.
We'd like to alert our local stations along the line that at the end of this round, we'll be taking a station break. Boy, would Holyfield like to take a station break right now. Good body shot by Qawi. Good body shot. Holyfield came back with a stronger looking right.
So both Boz and Mr. Info in the chat have got Holyfield winning all 3 rounds.
That punch blocked by Holyfield.
It's a nice,
Oh, wow.
That
nice.
was
Yes,
Oh,
very
yeah.
nice.
a game changer
Oh.
there.
And uppercut going in as well.
Qawi breathing very heavily.
Holyfield's still fighting back though.
A left and a right combination again. Boy, that combo.
Look at that. Nice upper body movement. Oof.
Holyfield back against the ropes and sliding away.
I think this one can
Jesus.
be described as another slugfest.
Spending energy again with nothing to show for it.
This is good stuff. Also, no clinching, ref not being involved. Good to see. Oh.
We will continue live from Atlanta, but first, these messages and a word from your local stations.
The bell late. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's take a pause. Man, that was a tough fight to score. Tough round, rather. Let's see. Okay, 4 rounds in. The scores are in. Let's continue. We'll take a pause after this round and have a quick look at how we're all doing.
We continue live on ABC's Wide World of Sports with the WBA World Junior Heavyweight Championship bout between Dwight Qawi, the shorter
Back when boxing was a national television here in the U.S.
and only 5'7", and Evander Holyfield. This bout has been fought at tremendous pace, and another warning to keep the punches up from Vinny Raynon, the referee. That, I believe, is the 3rd time that he has received words from referee Qawi has.
And he didn't stop Qawi. He drilled 2 more shots right on the word Holyfield on Evander's belt.
There you go.
Now, Alex, we thought we may have seen a cut on Qawi. Still, I have not seen blood, but they did use that frozen piece of metal known as an end swell and did apply Vaseline above his left eye.
Well, Dwight has taken punches, taken a lot of shots from Evander, especially right hands on that.
Just wondering, why is he not jabbing Holyfield? What's going on?
Yeah. Qawi looks a bit confident, a bit more confident now.
He would not reveal to Alex Waller yesterday in an interview that we had with him here in Atlanta. What do you think he tries to do with that, Tony?
Well, we talked the opening. He tries to get Evander flustered. He tries to take advantage of his inexperience, make him get reckless, get under his skin, make him do things he doesn't want to do. Right now,
Yeah, Holyfield is just barely throwing.
he just doesn't have the strength right now to resist Dwight or to make
They're outside, right? So
Ah, gee.
maybe be that heat.
plant his feet and drill some shots and then move side to side, not stand in front of him right here like this. That's it. Move to his right and let the right hand go. Stay away from Dwight's right hand.
Past the midway point of round 5. Holyfield trying to stay near the middle of the ring where he wants to be, not on the ropes where Qawi just tried to push him. The pace of this bout has slowed tremendously in this, the 5th.
Slowed right down. I think that definitely favours Qawi, doesn't it?
Expect the younger fighter to get that, but
Yeah.
Qawi used to get stronger as the fight progressed.
Some nice shots going in.
He certainly did when he
Oh, big left.
Qawi's eyes are bloodless.
Yeah.
He has taken numerous shots.
You see the sweat coming off of him.
Evander's trying to catch his breath or something.
Very, very tired. This is just trench warfare. Right now, Dwight Qawi is winning.
The interesting thing is that Holyfield had only gone 8 rounds and only scheduled 8 rounds before this fight. So this was going from 8 to 15. That's a huge jump.
That
So
is a
maybe
big
he's
step.
trying to preserve himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be logical.
yeah. That's certainly a major jump right there.
He planted himself and let his hands go, and momentarily stopped Qawi.
Alex, these are all new experiences right now for Holyfield. He's never been in a position like this. As round 5 comes to an end.
Well,
Certainly, that was all Qawi right there.
yeah. Okay, let's have a minute to input scores. All right, let's have a look then. Just do a refresh. So I'm in the combined scorecard. So this is everyone that's part of the group. Our combined average scorecard this would be. So a clear first round for Holyfield. You can see that percentage difference is pretty severe as well. It was the round he came out quickly and, you know, he pretty much dominated it. Round 2 was similar but not quite as much. 57-42-ish percentage-wise. I've also got the official scores down at the bottom, just noticed that. Round 3, again, Holyfield round. Round 4 was given to Qawi, and round 5 to Qawi as well. So 3 rounds to 2 Holyfield. That is how I have it. And maybe that's what everyone else has as well. I'm not too sure. So let's continue, and then we will do some more analysis after round 10.
A decidedly strong round for Qawi. Let's see if we can listen into the corner of Holyfield.
And I have Holyfield up 3-2.
Okay. Boz has Holyfield 3-2 up as well.
One of the controversies.
Yep, I'm in the same
Low blow
boat.
from Qawi. Let's take a look. That was more like a paw. Yeah, that I thought was legitimate. Qawi ran across the ring. There was some confusion in the Holyfield corner. He didn't have his mouthpiece in. That's an unusual position. As much experience as there is in that Holyfield corner for George Benn and Lou Duva not to get the mouthpiece in.
After that last round, I get why he was eager.
Scheduled to go 15.
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield started this fight very fast, won the first round in convincing and impressive fashion. But the rounds have gotten closer and closer since then. I thought 4 was very close, even though I gave it to Holyfield. I gave 5 to Qawi. The first round I gave him.
Yeah, I thought round 4 was
But he has all the momentum his way right now.
very close.
Alex, don't you think that more punches from Holyfield have gotten in beyond the
Agreed.
punches of Qawi?
But I did edge it out to Qawi.
Yeah, same here. With the Holyfield with that burst. Qawi bounces back.
Man.
Oh,
It's difficult to see those shots in from the camera angle, but it looked like they landed solidly.
Yeah, Qawi is always funny with his gestures.
23-year-old Dwight Qawi. And that is demoralizing to Evander. He built up some energy for a flurry, and he got nothing out of it. Again, no movement from Holyfield. None whatsoever. Standing right there. Not using the jab. Not doing all the things that were laid out for him to do by Georgie Benton and Lou Duva. And the main reason is he just isn't strong enough. He doesn't have the energy right now to execute. For Holyfield, the boxing glove.
Holyfield looks like his energy sapped a bit. Slower on the punches. Well, he had to remind himself to bounce.
Again, we must point out that Dwight is not fresh either.
Oh, yeah.
But he has been in this territory. This is not something new for him. He's been in tough fights. He's been in wars. Evander never has. Right from Holyfield.
I mean, he's not throwing as many shots, but when he does so, a lot of them are landing.
Yeah.
Apart from them ones.
Everything in close. As long as Qawi keeps his head on Evander's chest, Evander
Always makes for an interesting clash when you have two guys who generally over their career just aren't the type to want to back down, so coming forward is in their nature.
Mm-hmm.
area of boxing he has only experienced before. That area beyond the 6th round.
So last 10 seconds already. Oh,
Yeah, that was a quick round right there.
Setting Holyfield back against the ropes, but he snaps off. And keeps
oh man, this is so difficult.
moving along. Great pace.
Mm.
I found this one to be pretty close right here.
Yeah,
Pretty close
it's
round
tough.
right there. That's a tough one.
Fight in Atlanta between Dwight Qawi and Evander Holyfield is moving into round 7. Now we're
Just have a quick pause there because we didn't quite get the minute break. Yeah, man, tough round to score that one. I'll hit the play button and we'll continue.
really going to get to see what kind of shape Evander Holyfield is in. At the end of round 7,
Look at the guy.
fought well past the bell for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then they heard the bell and stopped. Vinny Raynaud, the referee, still hadn't heard the bell. That's all right. It never got me to class on time either. There's a great atmosphere in the Omni in Atlanta right now. The crowd chanting loudly for Holyfield. Now this is where Holyfield would like to stay for a while, center of the ring. But Qawi sliding around, trying to work Holyfield over towards the ropes.
Oh, that looks a little bit low.
Blow from Qawi to Holyfield. Evander moving to his right, which he was trained to do to stay away from the Qawi power.
From what I've seen, yeah, Qawi has gotten away with a number of low shots.
Mm-hmm.
The referee's just letting them fight.
I was saying that Evander has not been effective punching when he's moving to his right. And he hasn't been able to maintain any kind of movement.
No nuts, no glory.
Huh.
Both combinations not getting it, simply hitting the gloves of Qawi.
This is we're already halfway through the round. It's still up for grabs. It's another tough one to decide who's actually winning it.
I'd edge Holyfield
Yeah.
on activity,
Yeah,
but I
I'd
mean,
go with that.
it's not much. Punches not deterring him at all.
Holyfield leaning in.
Yeah, Qawi's got inside, he's throwing to the body and a few uppercuts, and then he has a break. Holyfield lands a few to the head.
But I really think if he set up let his right uppercut go in close, he could score effectively with it. Another right uppercut from Qawi.
Oh, that was well low. Ref's not bothered. Fair enough.
That left got into the chin of Qawi, but there wasn't much behind it. In the corner of Holyfield.
Well, that's some nice movement.
Hit the target. Yeah, that target is that left shoulder that he's talking about. We just talked about it.
Good straight right there.
Weaken and trying to open the opponent up. There he went after it again.
Yeah, you can see Qawi slowing down a little bit here, preserving himself a bit.
Mm.
Keep in mind, Holyfield moving along in this fight. He's only been to 8 rounds once in his
Man, I swear these rounds are flying by.
I know. Last 5 seconds already. Oh, that was a good shot. The end.
Huh.
Oof. Tough, man. Oh, let's take a pause. Take a pause. I think after we said there, but Holyfield had the better start. I think Qawi took over in that one. To be honest, it's the
Well, I
way
thought he had some good work there at the end. I still like what Holyfield did, but that was a very close one as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. This is where we're going to have scorecards all over the place, possibly, which is a good thing.
Well, Qawi definitely finished a lot stronger than he started.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Okay, cool. I've got my scores in. Hopefully you've got yours in. We'll continue. We've still got another 7, 8 to go. So Boz give that last round to Qawi. I also gave it to Qawi.
As we come up to the halfway point in this fight, Al, I have Evander ahead by 3 points. I gave him the last round. I thought he came back and scored effectively.
It's interesting. 3 points up for the commentator, whoever that one was. This is better from Holyfield. Yeah, Quarry looks like he's slowed right down. He put quite a lot into the last minute and a half of that last round, so
Yeah.
he's slowed down a bit here. Oh,
Oof.
that one landed. And again, nice combo there.
You seem Holyfield's really taking over right now.
Yeah, it's kind of found a rhythm.
Landing with precision here with those combinations.
Qawi's there, just relentless though. Still just moving forward,
Yeah.
not deterred.
Tough beards on both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 1000%. Lord. Okay.
Oh.
Shoot.
Well,
Oh. He never backs down.
he landed a few nice ones there, but then Holyfield landed that left. Just kind of stopped him a bit in his tracks.
You love to watch rounds like fights like this and hate to.
Yeah. Last 30 seconds. This is still up for grabs. Who's going to take it?
Man. Someone land something significant. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, whoa.
That's
Take
what
a
I
pause.
needed. I needed something significant there.
Was that the
Yeah.
difference maker? The end.
Yeah.
Certainly. Well, he was
We'll go with that consensus.
he took the second half of that round for sure.
Okay, folks, let's get some scores in. Just a quick shout out to Stephen who's joined us in the chat. He's ready for round 1. Ah well, you can watch the remainder with us, Stephen. You've not missed much.
Welcome.
All right, let's get into round 9.
This is the longest Evander Holyfield has gone in his pro career.
All right.
Wow.
He's fighting Dwight Qawi live this afternoon in Atlanta for the WBA Junior.
Another interesting fact is that he is the first from the '84 Olympic team to get a world title shot. And we're talking Pernell Whitaker, Meldrick Taylor, Mark Breland, Tyrell Biggs were on that team. They're all actually in attendance for this fight.
Wow.
45 seconds. Dwight rallied well in the middle of the round. I thought Evander came back and scored maybe a little bit more at the end of the round and shaded that round. Very tough here because, number one, they're doing a lot of infighting. And number two, Dwight is rolling away
Yeah, no doubt.
That's an understatement.
Using the jab now. He's finally listened to George Benn in his corner, and he's holding Dwight off with the jab.
Ooh.
Holyfield tried to respond with a right that just glanced off the gloves of
So it looks like to me that the last few rounds they took it a little bit slower. Maybe now that they've saved some in the tank and they're gonna start trying to make a difference.
Slower pace actually gave us a lot of quality too, which was a little surprising, especially how the fight was starting.
Oh,
They were giving a lot of volume, and it was like, okay, a little easier to pick the rounds. They slowed it down, and one of us had commented stating that we thought it was gonna, bring him towards Dwight, but Evander's still hanging in there and doing great work.
Hmm.
he becoming a tale of two halves as far as the rounds are concerned.
Oh man, I was just about to say that. First time we seen Qawi on the ropes.
Our clock on the screen and the clock that is being kept here at the arena with the bell. There have been problems all day. What more can I say? Any reasons that could be for that?
Atlanta is not a big fight town. They have had some shows here, most notably the heavyweight show in January and Muhammad Ali against Jerry Quarry years ago in Ali's comeback fight, but it is not a big fight town. It's just simply inexperience on the part of the commission.
And the relatively quiet bell has resulted in much fighting after the bell. Any other way it could affect the fight, do you think? I mean, 15 rounds is long enough without having longer rounds.
Well, I really hope that it doesn't lead to one fighter dropping his hands when he hears the bell, the other fighter not hearing it and landing a shot that could turn the fight around after the bell.
Holyfield trying to stand his ground now.
I think this has been better round for Holyfield. Already it's pretty much over. Again, another quick round, man. Oh, straight into it. Let's just take a pause. I think I'm going with Holyfield on that one. Just kind of
Agreed.
a bit more effective. But still pretty close rounds. Margin-wise, not much difference.
We have 6 more to go. This has already been some beautiful work by both guys. You got to just appreciate the smaller guy just coming forward, and Evander with that Olympic background and how he's choosing to fight, and just beauty in there.
Yeah. It looks like Buzz give that one to Holyfield. He said Qawi slowed down in this round. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, let's continue. Round 10.
15, once again, this is the junior heavyweight title fight between Muhammad Qawi and Evander Holyfield for the WBA title.
Once again, Evander starts
Good early work for Holyfield there. Bouncing around.
Quick reminder about our U.S. Women's Open golf coverage, which was halted today due to inclement weather, bad rain and thunder. Betsy King is the leader at 300 through 14 holes. They will decide in Ohio whether they will resume play by 6 p.m. We are told now that they may be resuming momentarily.
Whoa, what happened there?
I believe.
Oh.
Must be water.
Water right there in that corner.
Looked like he could have easily twisted a knee or something there. If he wasn't
Certainly.
careful.
Just to finish the golf report, if they do not resume today, they'll finish the third round tomorrow morning, and then the
First time I ever heard women's golf mentioned during a boxing match.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they're going to be able to finish tomorrow. So it's good news. Nice shot. So Holyfield's boxing now, and he's got the jab. He's keeping distance.
Dwight has done what we expected to. He's come straight in. I'm a little bit surprised that Evander has been able to hang in there as well as he did. Around round 5, rounds 4 and 5, he tired a little bit, but he's come back and he's very much in the fight. We'd like to alert the station
Oh.
There you go.
end of this round, we'll be taking a station break.
following him around a little bit, isn't he? Oh, nice uppercut. Oh, again on right.
Oh man, that was a mean counter right. Jeez.
30 seconds to go. This has been the clearest round for a while for me. Holyfield's been the dominant man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Qawi has those explosive spurts
Mm-hmm.
in pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take a pause there. Let's get our scores in. I would imagine everyone's got Holyfield as the winner of that round.
Yeah.
But you never know.
You never know.
You never know. Can be some dodgy scoring going on around here.
No even rounds.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Some of these rounds, they both did so well. I was like, man, if I were to consider an even round, it might be right now.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I may have an even round.
Oh, no. It's gonna be crazy, right?
Hey, hang on, you just warranted it. I mean,
Yeah, I understand. Great fight.
all right. Oh, I'm in the wrong window. Let's have a look. Side by side. Side by side? No, not side by side. Let's go back to our average scorecard. We'll have a look at a few more of the analysis while we're here. So this is just the three of us, I believe, that are in the group. So this is, just I think that's. Yeah, we'll keep this. We'll go from round 5. Looks like, from round 6. We covered round 5 before. So Qawi got round 6 for us. Very close margins, but you got that 10-9. Round 7 was Holyfield, but if you see that 50-50 round, just looking. So it was round 6 that I gave you as the even round. But remember, them two are pretty similar, both pretty close. Round 8 we scored for Qawi, and round 9 and 10 more comfortably for Holyfield. So we got Holyfield 6 rounds to 4 up after 10 rounds, but a really, really close winning margin average. So it shows that the rounds have been pretty close. While we are here, and we go back to that group, a new feature that I've now added is being able to compare two different scorecards rather than just yours against somebody else's. So if you are in the group, you'll be able to select 2 of the scorecards. So I'm going to pick both of your cards and click compare, and hopefully this works. Yeah, I've not fucked it up, which is good. So now we're looking at Josh's on the left and Alex's on the right, and how you compare against each other. So that's a new thing that I've implemented this week. So it looks like you both got similar scores for the first 4. You had it the same, just a different percentages, I think, for the most part. Round 3 you had exactly the same. Round 4 was different percentages. Round 5 was just the same score, different percentage and different reasons. And then it looks like you've been fairly consistent for all rounds, you two, in terms of the winner, which is cool. So you both got it 94-96. Excellent.
Cool. Close nature.
very close. Right, let's get back to it. Round 11, 5 more to go. So Mr. Info is also in the even round shame group along with myself. But that's fine. Boz accepts it. He can accept 5, 4, and 1.
Evander is a tremendous talent, but this is just too soon to put him in with somebody with the toughness and the strength and the determination of Dwight Qawi. A very loud crowd of about 8,000 or 9,000 of the
Oh my gosh. Just right on the, or right below the belt line. Bam, bam, bam.
gloves out, coming forward towards Holyfield. Holyfield, a vicious combination of punches. They got around.
Oh, that's a good bit of work there. Just a massive flurry, punches.
The Holyfield find that energy.
Because as we've seen time and again, Qawi will rally to
And now here he comes back, Qawi. Qawi's shots looked a little bit more bad intentions than Holyfield's flurry, but still good all the same.
resting his head on Holyfield's chest. Now I believe a chant of Qawi in the arena. What a turnaround for the hometown kid, Holyfield. I think it was Holy. I don't know. It's tough to tell. I do not think they were chanting for Qawi, but I could be wrong. The Holyfield corner again complaining about low blows. Good scoring combination by Evander and another right hand. And still Qawi comes.
It's better work for Holyfield.
A lunging left.
Oh, big shots there though.
Off the face of Holyfield as Qawi gets in.
Wow, man. That right hand and left hook from Holyfield has just looked so beautiful all fight long.
He's protecting against the right hand
Yeah.
of Qawi.
Very fluid.
He got the right arm and scored with it.
Yes. It just seems he can land it at will.
At most, we have 4 more to go in Atlanta.
Okay, there's the silent bell again. Just take a quick pause. So that was a Holyfield round for me.
Yeah, no, agreed.
He controlled the action. Boz has given that to Holyfield as well.
He did. Come on, just-
Okay, we'll continue. Round 12, not the last round.
Yeah, I watched an interview of Qawi at the Hall of Fame, and he was talking about, man, when he had this hunger to win, just he didn't feel like anyone could beat him. Just, I mean, you could see it. He doesn't care what's happening. He's never been floored before. That determination he has is it just seems human.
He's not picking his shots quite as well as he could, and he uses up and wastes a lot of energy doing it. It's just a matter of
Yes, Stephen in the chat has kind of said that there. He amazes him how he substitutes his lack of stature with the work rate and determination.
He started 1-1-1. 25 years old. Like I said, learned while he was locked away. And look, he's two-weight champion fighting an Olympian who is going to turn to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, competing with him.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. You just think about how boxing is and how some of these guys start at a very young age. Those generally who make it to the top level. So he's one of those certain overcomers right there for sure.
Yeah.
The likes of which we haven't seen from Holyfield in a few rounds. And stand by from Qawi. Wesley Muzan in Dwight's corner told him between rounds he has to throw more punches. He said this is the other guy's hometown.
I don't know if he hit the shoulder or the head, but definitely landed somewhere.
Is at age 33, at least age 33, can Dwight against a strong, tough, determined, gutty young opponent.
At least age 33.
Can he sustain the action? Holyfield getting the better of Qawi in the early part of this round. Inside the final minute of round 12.
Qawi trying to close that gap again. Make it a close quarter fight.
Holyfield against the ropes. And for the past couple of days, we've had a chance to follow the fortunes of the Atlanta Braves. All the fans here, and we are too looking forward to the Midsummer Classic.
30 seconds already. Oh, that's a good shot.
Mm.
That's probably the most memorable shot so far of the round.
I just think he took a good stiff jab and he just went back in the ropes just from fatigue more than the punch. Good scoring punch from Qawi. He is not used to
I felt like it was more like at the end of it, so I'm not sure if it was actually effective as he alluded to the commentator.
Mm.
12th round winding down.
Oh, nice stiff jab again.
Nice jabs. Oh, that's a...
Why does
Close
Qawi
work.
does this, man? Why does he always want to come on the last minute?
I know, this is tough. Yeah, I think I'm going to give him that round, Came on at that last minute, landed some good shots.
Evander had a lot of good work there in the first 2/3, I would say. But certainly Qawi did have some big shots there at the end.
Tough round, that one. Could be a swing round. Stephen, again, in the chat, has said it's easy to give Qawi credit for putting in such a great effort when in reality Holyfield is still edging the rounds, which, I think he had done that for the previous 3 rounds, for me at least. Yeah, I just thought his activity at the end there probably edged Qawi a little bit ahead, so that's what I've gone for, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I always look at 2 things: who I'd rather be in that round, and what do I remember?
Yeah.
What is like the first 1, 2, 3 moments I remember?
We enter round 13. Which
Alright, let's get back into it with a couple of rounds left.
summarize the 12 we've seen so far.
3 rounds left to be precise.
A little bit more energy, a little bit more punching and combination, throw more punches and landed more. I have him ahead by 4 points.
It's my first 15 rounder I've scored as well, so this is uncharted territory for me.
Yeah, it's like a marathon. Although it's gone quite quick, to be fair.
No greed.
Oh, some good work by Holyfield here.
The
I mean-
championship rounds, right?
I mean, a lot of those didn't really land, did they? Let's face it, but it looks busy.
And now he looks like he blew his load.
Yeah.
We got to put ourselves in 1986. Holyfield, barely 2 years of pro, just coming off 8 rounders, and in the 13th round is throwing flurries like that. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's impressive.
They don't know who Holyfield's gonna be.
Oh yeah, that is true.
That was very low. Still jabbing to the bollocks. It's not allowed, mate. Stop it.
Imagine how many kids he would have had if this fight didn't happen. Holyfield got a lot of children.
Maybe this fight inspired him. It's like, oh Jesus, I need to Get him out while I can.
And the punches they've absorbed. But Evander is just out busying him. He's just beating to the punch.
Oh, that's a good shot by Qawi. So Josh mentioned it quite a few rounds back where Qawi just, it takes quite a few, but then he just explodes with big shots. And they can be the eye-catching ones when they land.
This is another competitive round.
It is.
Indeed.
Which is why we're watching it, right?
Exactly. Maybe one week we'll do a one-sided fight, and it'll be just easy to score, and we can just kind of watch it and enjoy it. Oh Jesus, this is brilliant. Oh, all right. Oh man. Keep throwing to the end. I need some help with this one.
Man, double hooks. Double hooks by Holyfield are just...
Folks in the chat, give us your scores, please. He won that round.
That was a tough one right there.
If someone gave that 10-10, I'd be like, okay.
Is that my permission? Granted. I'm not going to do it, Alex, alright? I'll limit myself to one even round per fight.
Evander said before the fight that he almost didn't mind if Dwight slipped that jab. He didn't have to hit him with it. He wanted to bring him in on the right hand. And that replay you saw him do exactly.
I edged that to Holyfield. Just.
Likewise.
So going into the last two, I've got Holyfield up 7 rounds to 5.
Jesus. I did not see that combination till that replay. That was not nice.
Right, we're away. Round 14. On my card, Qawi needs both of these to even it up. And that's because I've got the even round. So.
Like a little mystery on my scorecard at the end.
Yeah,
I want to reveal.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Mr. Infro says that was the best round of the fight, and he gave it to Holyfield. Boz also gave it to Holyfield. This kind of up close definitely suits Qawi a bit more. And there we go, Holyfield goes back to the jab.
That was a tremendous question in his mind. He may not admit it, but until you've done it, you don't know you can do it. Qawi's right blocked by Holyfield. Still the pursuit. Unrelenting coming towards Holyfield throughout this entire fight. Holyfield taking a moment to glance over at the directions of Lou Duva. And Lou Duva did one thing. He shot his left hand out 4 times. He wants him to jab and stay away. Keep his distance.
He's boxing nicely. Holyfield he's edging this one so far this round.
He could have been on the whole fight, but for experience, facing a dog.
So you're just breaking up a little bit there, Alex. Couldn't tell what you were saying.
was just saying, can you hear me now? Am I all right?
Yeah, that. Oh, I think there might be some minor internet issues, but I just heard all of that in a very quick sentence.
Both men showing unbelievable courage and
Yeah.
determination.
Oh, that was low by Holyfield.
Great rounds of boxing. The 15th is up next, live in Atlanta.
And there's the round.
These guys have been giving it 14 rounds.
I think Qawi came on well at the end of that round, but I'm not too sure it was enough.
Yeah.
After Holyfield,
Holyfield seemed to have a more firm grip on his last couple of rounds.
not heard anything from Alex. Hopefully he's still with us. If you're trying to talk, you are muted. We will continue. Last and final round. Everyone make sure you stay around after the fight. We'll discuss previous weeks of boxing action and the upcoming fights. So make sure you stick around after the fight. We'll also be looking at our analysis again as well at the end of this round. And after we hear the official scores, of course.
Dwight Qawi, who yesterday called Evander Holyfield mediocre, would not be saying that to us right now. Couldn't believe it either.
Mediocre.
Psych him out. He was not able to do that. He has not been able to do that. On my scorecard, Evander Holyfield is ahead by 5 points and in control of this fight. That is, of course, unofficial. Again, Evander switched this time in Qawi's corner.
Referee's
Down this time.
made his first intervention.
Stops the clock. Orders both corners to dry him up. Each corner is just soaking his man with water and ice, trying to revive him, trying to make his man the pressure.
I see ice cubes up in the corner of Holyfield.
Am I coming in okay?
Ringside, that right
Yeah, I can
Good to
hear you
go.
there, Alex.
Holyfield, another left coming in from
Okay, great.
Both fighters are going to let it all hang out here in the 15th and final round.
Alex, do you think Qawi realizes or thinks that he is behind?
I really wouldn't want to take a guess, Al. I think he must know, but you can't tell from his style because he fights the same way all the time. He's trying to knock your head off all the time.
I was wrong. The chant is definitely holy, holy for Holyfield. It's his hometown, remember. They've watched him mature. They've watched him in the Olympic Games. Perhaps they share that disappointment with him.
Just catching up with the comments in the chat there. Stephen said they both clearly watched Rocky 4 a year earlier. We're trying to emulate the final fight.
He is giving everything he has to give.
Didn't Rocky 4 come out in the 90s? Am I making that up?
That he can give enough to beat. In my opinion, he hasn't given enough.
I do not know.
Now we're approaching the final minute of the
What's happening now?
final round, but there was a stop.
Referee's getting involved when he doesn't need to.
Of all times now.
Rocky 4 was 85. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that's a good shot. Holyfield looked like it staggered him a little bit.
Blurry a little bit too much early in this round. He's going to have to gut the end of this round out.
Slipping again.
And give Dwight Qawi credit. He did not let a punch go when Holyfield was down. We can see Dwight head on right now. He is very tired. He is just...
Oh, that's a good shot.
Hmm.
Oh, has that staggered him?
Ooh.
That was weird.
Was he faking? He might have been faking. Right
Yeah,
there.
because now he's launched attack.
I think that was the experience. I think Dwight may know he has to knock him out. I think he might have thought the way to get him to come in wide open was to back up.
Giving it their all there.
Oh, It's just a sudden ending.
Got Lou Duva there.
Yeah.
You might be able to see from Dwight's face that he recognizes that he gets
Okay, I gave that round to Qawi.
against Evander Holyfield. It was not
Great.
enough, Qawi. I was
Ready.
told by referee Vinny Renaud that there was a point taken away for a low blow
Oh.
from Qawi.
I'll just finish my scorecard now. It's too late.
Oh.
Fuck's sake.
Qawi withstood the storm and let us
Oh well.
championship belt. Back in a moment. Which way did the ball bounce here in Atlanta today? Did it bounce for Evander Holyfield? Certainly the experts sitting at ringside.
So do you boys want to just let us know your final scores before we get the final decision?
For the
So mine was
Nice.
144 to 142 to Holyfield, which translates to 8 rounds to 6 and 1 even, and a very close winning margin, just a 4% difference. Go ahead, Alex. What have you got?
I have 9-5, 144 to 140. I was able to edit my scorecard and put that last round as even because I had it for Qawi, and I have it
Good point.
53% to 47% Holyfield.
Okay, cool. And Josh?
Yes, so I have it 140, 145. So 145 for Evander Holyfield with a 52% margin, 52-48.
Cool. Boz has it 144, 142, and so does Mr. Info. So there we go. Let's listen to the officials. I know we did have it before on the screen on our average scorecard, but to be honest, I didn't actually read the scores, and I inputted them myself before, so I still don't know the decision.
a staggering blow by Holyfield, who got his second wind, I believe, in the 11th or 12th round. Qawi just dropped, stuttered on his feet, and then roared right back at Holyfield. And really stunned him with a big right. You see Terrell Biggs, Natalie attired in the back, standing over the crowd, wondering perhaps when his day was coming. Mark Breland is in the ring, Meldrick Taylor. There's Terrell. Remember he broke his
Looking very dapper.
the men.
Play chess on him.
Also here,
Yeah.
a broken finger in his bone. Let's go into the ring. Have your attention, please.
Here we go. Scores.
We have a majority decision.
Majority.
Judge Letterman scores the fight 144-140 Holyfield. Judge Volkman scores the fight 143-141 Qawi. Judge Quintana scores the fight 147-138 for the
Oh,
winner.
that's a wide one.
Split decision.
Yeah, not majority.
Interesting.
We watch them all in the ring at Los
So interesting scores there.
Who would have thought that the man who suffered the greatest disappointment would be the first to achieve a world title? The new WBA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, Evander Holyfield, in a split decision.
Ooh, okay.
Now let's take a look at the
Let's pause that then. Excellent. Let's see how we stack up. I seem to have lost my group. How's that happened? Yeah, I don't know. Let's just try and find a fight elsewhere. Okay, I'm gonna have to try and get this set up separately. So. Man, I've got too many windows open. I don't know where I'm at. Let's see.
What a fight. What a fight.
Yeah, keep bigging up the fight while I get this
Also,
prepared.
there was a point deduction. I didn't notice a point deduction.
Yeah, they were saying that right at the very end. Literally, as I pressed to save my
interesting.
scorecard. Alex accounted for that in his scorecard. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, okay. We're in again with the average scorecard. So this includes, I think it's 4 of us. I think Mr. Info's card is also included here. Don't know what Boz is doing. I think he's scoring on pencil and paper like the judges still do, which is fine. So let's go down from round 11. So that was clearly a Holyfield round, 60-40. Qawi then gets round 12, pretty close. He landed the more effective shots. Round 13, back to Holyfield, 10% swing there, 55-45. Again, landing the cleaner shots. Holyfield controlled the action in round 14. And Qawi wins the last round, round 15. So on the average totals, that is 9 rounds to 5 and 1 even. Which was the 1 even then? Round 6. Cool, that'll be me and Mr. Info, thank you. Yeah, 1-4-5, 1-4-1. And I guess we can't really account in this average scorecard for deducted points. But yeah, 9 rounds to 5 and 1 even is, I'd say pretty fair result. Quite interesting how the official scores gave Qawi one scorecard, and then that other one was 147, 138. Just seems a little bit too wide. But then again, I guess our average is wider than the other 2 scores. So there you go. That was a fun fight to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone that has tuned in enjoyed it.
I sure enjoyed it. Those guys are going at it.
Yeah, really fun fight. And 15 rounds as well, so a bit longer than usual. You said that was your first time watching the 15-rounder, Alex. Scoring the 15-rounder, sorry, yeah. Our first 2 live streams that we did back last year, the first 2 was... who was it? It was heavyweights, Spinks and Holmes. So we did 1 and 2 as our first 2 live streams, and they were 15-rounders. So that was good fun. If you want to go back into the archives and see some of our earlier streams, that's when I did it with Kaiser Koba. They were good to watch. So we'll take a look at them.
Definitely got to check those out.
Yeah, pretty cool, man. Okay, let's move things along then. That took a while because it was obviously a 15-rounder. So, unlike our usual tradition, we're going to now talk about the recent boxing action. So, let's fast forward 36 years. The last couple of weekends since our last live stream, let's do a quick recap then. So on Saturday, the 16th of July, in the UK, I didn't see this card at all, so we can kind of gloss over it. But Lennox Clark beat Mark Heffron. He's beaten by Mark Heffron. 5th round stoppage. I'm not sure if that was a bit of an upset. Can't really recall. And on the undercard to that, Hamza Shiraz won by five round TKO as well. And I believe that he was put down in one of the earlier rounds, but it was more of a flash knockdown. But Hamza Shiraz is
Yeah, I saw that
is
highlight.
yeah, he's quite an interesting prospect from the UK. Did you see any more of this? Did you want to cover it, or anything, Alex or Josh? Or we can move on. If there's
I don't
nothing
have
to-
anything. I didn't catch it either. I just know the Hamza, I believe his name. Right, there's a bit of a push for him moving forward. So, but I have not caught any of it.
Yeah, he's touted over here as potentially one of our better prospects. So he's one to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. And I wasn't able to catch it. I was actually trying to. It was on BT Sports 1, if I'm not mistaken, but I wasn't able to find a stream or anything. So I wasn't able to catch it. I need to somehow try to catch a replay on YouTube at some point. Maybe, but maybe not.
Yeah, man. Maybe just leave that. All right.
I did hear the Clark fight was a very entertaining fight. I heard that from many people.
Okay. Also that night then was Ryan Garcia. He beat Fortuna round 6 KO. I only saw some highlights of that. So give us your thoughts on Ryan Garcia, Alex, and his win that weekend.
Yeah, he's claiming he's got under now. According to Fortuna's promoter, it was asked by them to have it at this weight. Ryan Garcia, he looked great, honestly. He was able to use his length, his speed, keep Fortuna where he wanted. Didn't seem to have issues finding Fortuna, and got a very impressive knockout. Where he goes from here is extremely interesting. He still wants that tank fight. I think most boxing fans want that as well, but did double down. Said it has to be at 140 pounds. We've seen Davis there before. Will he go there again? How will this fight be made? I guess we're going to have to stay tuned and see how this progresses.
Yeah, you got anything to add there, Josh?
I'll just say I thought Ryan looked great as well. As Vega mentioned, you could tell there was a size difference. And Fortuna, he just really couldn't do much. And I think Ryan Garcia, he looks pretty comfortable at 140 pounds. I know that Floyd Mayweather has come out and said that they would only do the fight at 135, so that's going to make it interesting as far as the negotiations are concerned. So we might not get that fight, but I do like the fact that Ryan has also called out and said that he wants to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140. So I think that's a pretty interesting fight right there that could deliver in a major way.
Yeah, some really good fights to be made down at those kind of weights. I guess we'll just see what happens when they go forward. I think this on the undercard was Lamont Roach got a win over Angel Rodriguez. Is that right?
Yes. That was I think the second fight on that card. DC guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was, they both, man, I don't know how they make 130 pounds. These guys are both seem big for the weight. Angel, man, you could see he was twitchy, had some nice counters, but Lamont put the pressure throughout the fight. It is, 130 is at an interesting place because Shakur is the king of that division. I'm sure those guys either will want to avoid him at all costs or want to try to go for the glory and the money to try to unify with Shakur. I'm not sure how Lamont would get that matchup. So where he goes from here, I would like to see, because he's obviously someone that has skills, that can press the action, and we'll see where it goes.
Cool. We're having a couple of sound issues, I think, again with you, Alex, there. So occasionally you're cutting out, but we got the gist of what you were saying there. Josh, did you catch this fight? What did you think?
Yes, indeed. As Alex Vega mentioned, I thought that Lamont Roach, he controlled the majority of the fight. He had some good moments, and he was able to hurt. What was his name? Rodriguez.
Yeah.
At times, he was able to hurt him at times. But I thought it was a pretty interesting matchup. But Lamont Roach definitely got the nod, and I know he was saying after the fight, there's a guy by the name of Hector Garcia who's going to be taking on someone. I think there's some WBA belt involved, so I think that's what's more likely, just based on what he had stated. He could potentially face the winner of this fight. I would have to look and see who it is, but he had a pretty decent fight with Jamel Herring, came up just short, so. Yeah, he still has an opportunity here to redeem himself, and if he gets a shot at the title, then best of luck to him. He has a good chance of becoming world champion.
Yes, Garcia's going to fight Roger Gutierrez, actually down here in Hollywood, Florida, for the WBA the Super WBA title.
Oh, cool.
Cool. All right, let's move along then. And also, I've been neglecting to look into the chat there. I'll just see what some of the comments are from them fights that we just looked at. Stephen Sobe says Hamza Shiraz looks extremely talented. The Torres fight was very enlightening. He looks extremely competent and comfortable around the ring. What else have we got? Garcia needs to be busier. 2 fights in 3 months. He's back to the schedule he was looking at back in 2020. So that's true. Actually, Garcia is looking a little bit more active recently, so that's good news. The Tank fight has always been talked about at 135. Now it actually looks closer to ever. Garcia's camp insist on 140. Yeah, hopefully that all gets sorted out, because these are the kind of fights that boxing needs and the fans want. So it just all needs making. Okay, let's have a look. What else was there? So coming on to this weekend, which was really bare in terms of much boxing action. Last night, Isaac Dogboy edged out Joet Gonzalez. I only caught some replay highlights this morning, kind of as background, so I wasn't really paying too much attention, but it sounded like a pretty close fight. Josh, did you catch this one? Give us your thoughts.
No, I didn't catch it in its entirety. I caught some of the latter portion of the fight live. I was watching it on my phone. I was actually out. But from what I saw, they had some decent exchanges, and it looked like Dogboy was in control during the points that I saw. This was really kind of the last 4 rounds, I would say. So I didn't see any of the beginning action, but I know coming into the fight, I think many might have had Joet Gonzalez as probably the fresher fighter with an opportunity to, upset the apple cart in some sense, given that Dogboy had been in a number of scrappy fights here in the past. But hey, Dogboy, he's training under the Headbangers gym here in DC, and they seem to rekindle a little bit of something in him. He's being a little bit more effective and less reckless on offense. And we'll see where he goes from here. This was a title eliminator, so he may have an opportunity at another championship, but it will be tough sledding, of course, getting the actual belt.
Yeah, he seemed like I think he won the title a few years back. Looking here, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then he got the back-to-back losses to Navarrete, which is no shame in that. And he's had a couple of wins since then. He got a TKO in his comeback fight, and then these last 3 fights he's won, which are good results, but all of them majority and split decisions. So he's eking out results. He's getting himself back up there, I guess. Alex, did you catch this and have anything to add to that?
Josh said a word, scrappy, and that's what Dogboy is. He's a scrappy fighter. For what he lacks in size, I mean, he has it in heart. He throws nice, clean, hard punches. It looks very nice. I actually I watched the fight in its entirety. I actually had Joet winning, sure. He was controlling Dogbo for I believe most rounds. However, Dogbo did make a nice push at the end. Joet wanted it to be in the inside for whatever reason, and Dogbo was getting the better of it. But it was a competitive fight. Um, but I really believe Joet deserved the decision. I thought more of a clear 6-4, maybe a draw. But it is what it is. It's interesting, like they said as well, WB eliminator. But we just saw one a few weeks ago with Brandon Figueroa versus Carlos Castro. So I don't know what's going on with the WBC. It always seems Top Rank favors WBO fights, and I saw Rubisi Ramirez. You I would say, hey, we're going for Top Rank. Let's set something up. So that'll be an interesting match. And we'll see where it goes once again.
Yeah, that could be a good one. I think Mr. Info mentioned about Brandon Figueroa about being the champ. I'm not too sure actually. Buzz said that he thought that Dogbo started stronger and so deserved it. So I guess there's arguments to be made for both. Close fight. Maybe it could be a rematch down the line. Not too sure. Anyway, before we move on to upcoming fights, a bit of news or rumours and rumblings that were coming out last week was the potential for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight. And did you two see this? It'd obviously be quite a big fight over in the UK. Whether or not it makes sense for Conor Benn is another thing altogether. But money talks, and it would probably make them both a shitload of money. So, thoughts on that one, Josh?
I had some chats with Boz on this because he actually had mentioned it to me, and I was thinking it doesn't make sense because I immediately thought of Chris Eubank fighting at 168 pounds, and I was like, I don't see how they're gonna work this out. But apparently, I saw something where it's alleged that they're looking to do some kind of catch weight at 156 pounds or something crazy like that. So I don't know the validity of it, but I think that would essentially be draining Eubank. And it doesn't make sense from a boxing perspective, but it does make sense from a financial perspective. So I guess that's all I have to add to it.
Yeah, Alex, your thoughts?
Man, do I not like this at all. We want to see guys go after, champions. It should be about the glory, and this is just all about the money. But according to everyone I've talked to in the UK, it is a significant amount of money. I'm hearing close to 8 figures for them possibly. So I understand it, but at their points of their careers, I just don't get it. Just 156. I'm hearing that they're having trouble with a rehydration clause. I'm really hoping it falls through. Honestly, I don't want to see it. Will I watch it? Absolutely, because I'm a boxing fan.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? We'd all say, no, it's a ridiculous fight, just a money grab, but everyone's gonna, pay attention to it and watch it. I'm gonna say it doesn't interest me. Of course, it interests me, but you just know that the whole build up it's all gonna be about a rivalry from 30 years ago that these two kind of had no influence over or anything like that. So that's how it's going to be sold, and it'll grab the attention of fight fans and British casual fans, I guess. It remains to be seen whether it'll be made. Hopefully, probably, maybe not. But like we say, money is the biggest winner in all of this, and so it could very well happen. I guess we'll find out a bit more in the coming weeks and months whether it's something that'll actually happen or not. So I just wanted to touch on that as part of recent news and rumours. So let's move on.
I'm hearing it's the second biggest fight in UK that could be made under Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Um,
Huh?
yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess it would probably be, which kind of goes to show that currently the British boxing scene might be in a little bit of a lull, to be fair. Um, so, yeah, who knows? We'll see. Anyway, let's move swiftly on. We'll nearly finish up soon. We'll just cover up the next couple of weekends worth of boxing and the fights that I've got down here, and shout out if I've missed any. Next Saturday, Chris Smith versus Isaac Chamberlain. That's a domestic UK fight at Cruiserweight, I want to say. Let's just get that up and see.
Yes, Cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's right. Chris Smith has been on a bit of a decent run since he lost a couple of years back to Richard Biakpo, who we spoke about a couple of streams ago, I think. He lost a split decision there, so that's not too bad. And he's had some good wins ever since in the last couple of years, and he seems to be on a bit of a high. Isaac Chamberlain was kind of a prospect, I think, when he met who was it? Lawrence Okolie, that's the one.
Okolie.
Yeah, back in 2018. They were both undefeated, both under 10 and 0. And obviously Okolie got that decision. And Chamberlain's kind of been a little bit inactive since then. He's only had 5 fights. But yeah, it's quite an interesting matchup. I think Billum Smith is probably the favourite and who I'd pick to win, just through the fact that he's been more active and he seems to be on a bit of a good run of results. Have you got any thoughts on this one, Alex?
I have never seen Isaac Chamberlain. I have heard the name. He did face Okolie, and I saw Chris Billum Smith's last fight, or the fight previous. There was one that I believe was on the zone. Yeah, I think it's an interesting matchup. You guys definitely do not protect your prospects, man. And like I said, you heard the names earlier that both these guys have faced, and once again they're going to be faced with each other. So definitely it is intriguing, and I look forward to seeing what will be the result.
Cool. Josh, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I'll just say that I really have liked the way Chris Billum Smith has looked as of late, and I feel like Matchroom has been doing a good job of matching him up. I think that activity is going to play in his favor. I do recall seeing Chamberlain Okolie, though I don't remember much here just off top. But
it was a very forgettable fight. It was back when Okolie went through a phase where he bored everyone to death. So very forgettable.
Yeah, so Chamberlain has some decent size as well, but I do think that Chris Billum Smith, aka CBS, is in pretty good form right now, and he's confident. And of course, he works with Okolie, so I think he's going to be able to edge this out, probably pull a decision off or something of that nature.
Yeah. That's what I'd go with as well. Cool. All right, let's move on. That same weekend, I believe, and it's not listed. This is Danny Garcia's. Is that right, Alex? You just confirm that.
Yes. Danny Garcia, Jose Benavidez.
And your thoughts on that one?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I have been a Danny Garcia fan since the Amir Khan fight. I did not know who he was prior to that. That no look left, they always like to call it. So he's been off since the Errol Spence fight back in 2020. So I believe he's approaching 19 months of inactivity at a new weight class, 154. Got Jose Benavidez on the other side. Everyone knows his younger brother, who's actually the bigger one, David Benavidez. They actually were both quote unquote champions at 140 at the same time. Danny was unified. Jose was the interim or the regular or the world or whatever we want to call these belts.
Yeah.
So they do know of each other. Jose actually was out of the ring for about 3 years. Came back last October at 160 pounds with a draw. So, who's going to get the cobwebs off? Who's going to look better? I believe it's going to be Danny Garcia. I would love to see a knockout, but I do anticipate seeing a unanimous, close but unanimous decision for Danny.
Yeah. Joshua, do you want to give your thoughts on that one as well?
Oh I'm of course more familiar with Garcia. Yeah, I had seen him a bit early on, a little bit before that. What Alex mentioned, I recall him fighting Ashley Deal Payne, and I think that Garcia, of course, he's fought a lot of the top guys there at 147. He's come up short with those that are the elite of the elite, but he's right there in that same territory. In this case, I don't know how beneficial the move to 154 is going to be as far as title contention. I think it's going to be tough sledding, if he's going to be aiming towards getting Jamal Charlo, and it's going to be some bigger punchers and things of that nature he'll have to deal with. But that being said, I haven't seen Jose Benavidez in a while, and I feel he's a bit longer, has a little bit of length and size to him, but this is also his first time at 154. If I had to go with who seemingly has done more and has the sort of pedigree to pull this off, I would say it's Danny Garcia for sure. But I think it's going to be interesting to just see how each of them look at 154. And Danny Garcia is not he wasn't like a big 147 pounder. He really was putting in his work at 140. So it'll be interesting to just see how each of them look. But there's certainly some top level competition that is out there at 154. Should the winner take on someone more towards that top 10 or something in the aftermath?
Yeah, I think I would go with what you've said there. I back Garcia probably to get a decision in this one. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look into the group chat, which I keep forgetting about. I'm sorry. Going back to the Eubank and Conor Benn thing, Stephen says that Eubank clearly knows his limits. He's also very much at ease with his weaknesses and very comfortable in his own skin. Buzz says it's all a cash cow. So that's fair enough. Chamberlain has improved physically and mentally since the awful Akoli Ball Fest. Buzz says Riat seems to be the next big British name. That could be true. He's looking pretty good. It helps that he's also huge and he might go up to heavyweight. Also, Billum Smith is very much improved, Stephen says. Probably at his peak. And Buzz says Akoli is still occasionally boring. He's been alright though in recent years, I think. Okay, so I've got up on screen this actual card on BoxRec for some reason, and as we mentioned before, it doesn't seem to be listed. And we know that there was a fight from the other week that wasn't listed, or the Ryan Garcia fight wasn't listed until the last second, so that's a little bit weird. But the undercard has got a couple of decent names on there as well, if we want to touch on these before we go. Alex, Adam Kaunaki fights against someone that I've never really heard of. I believe he's Turkish. Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was kicked out for a second. Just came back in.
Sorry.
I actually saw him in person. He fought Ionet Road, Washington. He's a dude that was for a lot in that fight. Not this yet, which we just saw with the cop. So when it comes to fight, everyone I'm sure has seen Kaunaki fight once. He's another guy that likes to throw a lot of it, comes forward. I like to refer to him and Ariola's fight when they a few years ago. I think it was the most ever thrown in a heavyweight fight. So hopefully it's the bar burner. We get something that is memorable, even if it's champions. It should be
Okay, I think I think you got issues with your internet there, Alex. You're really breaking up, mate. Possibly why you end up being kicked out as well, the call. So, hopefully we don't totally lose you. But Josh, hopefully you're still there. Have you got some thoughts on the Karnacki fight?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, this is a chance for him to try and bounce back and get some of that luster. I think a part of it is him needing to kind of shift his style a bit, because he's a warmonger in that sense, and he likes to get in there, and he's not necessarily the biggest or the strongest, but he certainly is prone to a good fight. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. And Demarizin or whatever his name is. Yeah, I wasn't familiar off top, but I see Boz mentioned that he knocked out Gerald Washington. So that to me is not saying much. Anyway, but I think it should be good to see where Kanowski's head is, considering he hasn't or his last two fights, I believe, were against darn it, why is he the Finnish fighter? I'm losing track of his name for some reason.
I know. Nordic warrior. Robert Hellenius.
Oh yeah, Hellenius. Robert Hellenius. Thank you.
Back-to-back losses.
For a second. Shout out to Tommy Silvanonen, another Finnish fighter out there. But yeah, I'm looking forward more so to the actual Antoine Russell versus Rancis Barthélemy fight.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
Yeah. Primarily for Antoine Russell, because I think that he's certainly a bright spot. He's kind of been viewed in that prospect stage, but I think he's bumped a little bit ahead of that. He's looked good in each of his fights, and he knows how to put his punches together well. And this will be his first fight, so condolences to Gary Russell Sr. Their father passed away, so this will be the first fight since then. I believe he's going to be trained by Gary Russell Jr. as far as who's going to be in his corner. And Gary Russell Jr. has been in his corner in prior fights and all this stuff. But I think he has a good opportunity here to make a statement, especially if he's the first person to stop Rancis Barthélemy. And Barthélemy, of course, he had some promise or whatever. He really hasn't done much since stinking up the joint with Robert Garcia back in 2019, or not Robert Garcia, but Robert Easter back in 2019. Yep. That was a torrid fight, I guess you can say. So we'll see what Barthélemy looks like, and I think it's a good matchup and a good statement type of potential matchup for Gary Antoine Russell. So looking forward to that one.
Yeah. It's good to note here that he's 15-0 with 15 stoppages as well, so good power. And like you say, he's probably more than a prospect now. He's, like you say, still show where he's at. It's a decent opponent. Good name to have on his record. Alex, I think you might be back with us a bit more clearly. Do you want to give some thoughts on Gary Russell?
Yes, I hope I am coming in clear.
Yep, you are.
Good. No, I'm with Josh. I think Gary Antoine Russell is the goods. I think he may be the best 140-pounder already from what I've seen, how he handled Victor Postol. Honestly. Rancis, I believe, was a former 130-pound champion. He's a guy that likes to throw nice, big, wide shots. He comes to fight, so I expect Gary Russell to honestly get a stoppage in the mid rounds, somewhere between 6, 7, 8, and move on and get a belt hopefully within the next year.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable prediction. I'd go along them kind of lines as well. It's that exact kind of fight that gets made where you've got the younger fighter that's kind of going over that prospect phase. Against the kind of the aging but decent name opponent.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, what Vega said, I have heard before in terms of Antoine potentially being the best out there right now. So, yeah, it's not a blasphemous statement. He certainly has a high level pedigree both on the amateur side and now here in the pros. So, he is legit without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on going forward. I'm not too familiar with the next two on this list. LeSean Rodriguez and Ismael Villarreal. Both undefeated. Looks like an 8-rounder. Do any of you boys know about these two guys?
I do not.
Yeah, same here.
Nice records, though.
not ringing a bell.
No worries.
Used to.
So maybe not exactly highly touted prospects, but at least it's two undefeated youngish guys going in. That's not too bad. And then also featuring on this card, but doesn't have an opponent yet, 10-rounder.
Oh, yeah.
Julian Williams. Boxrec thinks I'm a robot, so just give me a second. Identifying motorbikes. Oh Jesus, it's thrown me back to the homepage. Why do this to us?
I got TBA against Julian Williams. Put me
Yeah,
down for
that's correct.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well.
He's coming off back-to-back losses.
I'm picking whoever it is.
Oh right.
Yeah.
You think he's done?
You got TBA winning.
I mean, that's a good.
Up TVA for the dub.
Brilliant. Well, we'll put that in as your prediction. Yeah, so he's coming off the back of losses against Jason Rosario and Vladimir Hernandez. So you've really got such little faith in him then, Alex?
Yeah, it just seems that whatever has happened since that stoppage loss to Rosario, that last fight against Vladimir is just, he started off really well and he just, I don't know, he just hit a wall and he looked terrible. So, his trainer Bredman thinks that Julian has all the tools, but just doesn't know which one to use. So I guess, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he certainly has been a bit up and down here as of late. He looked amazing when he beat Jarrett Hurd, but by that same token, he hasn't necessarily looked very good since then. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And at this point, of course, when you start getting in this territory, and in age, when you factor in the age and everything, you really have to button down if you're going to try and get to the top again and get to that title. And we'll learn a lot, I think, in this fight and what he's made of a bit moving forward to see if he can salvage what was left of a pretty promising career. He had a lot of people behind him, and he still does have, I'd imagine, pretty good fanfare. But yeah, it'll just be interesting to see if he's going to be a real player here moving forward.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. I've not got really anything more to add. I won't make a prediction, like Alex did. But yeah, it seemed like he was on a really upward trajectory after that Jarrett Hurd fight. A big upset that went back in 2019, and obviously things haven't gone quite to plan since then. And he's only had 2 fights as well since then, which obviously both losses. It seems like he might be in a bit of a limbo position. Like you say, he's getting to that age where he's not young and fresh anymore. Has he got the hunger and the desire? So I guess we'll see who they throw him in with and go from there, really.
Yeah, and I'd imagine in his case, the inactivity over these last few years hasn't helped. So
yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I guess in a couple of weekends' time we can quickly cover that action as well, because our next stream will probably be on the Sunday again, which will be after this lot. But it's I believe it'll be the Jake Paul headlined fight or card. He faces Hazim Rahman Jr. I don't know if any of you two care about Jake Paul. I don't really, but obviously he gets the viewers. So is he going to get beat? Give us your thoughts, Josh.
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting. Hey, he's fighting a real boxer. I give him that. And that's what a lot of people mention. But I think he's doing a good job of sort of promoting himself, kind of staying out there in the mix. So it should be interesting. I have seen Rothman a few times, but it was more so earlier on. I know he was knocked out in his last fight and was in what was his, I guess, first time truly stepping up. So this fight, when you look at it on paper, might be a little bit closer to 50-50 as far as who both have faced as opponents here in the pros. You might give a slight edge there, of course, to Rothman. But that being said, yeah, I think it's just going to be an interesting fight. I had mentioned, I'm sure I mentioned this somewhere, I can't recall where, but I would probably give a slight edge to Rothman, but it's not like a gargantuan edge or anything of that nature, because I know he's going to be coming down in weight as well. So it should be interesting, and we'll see what happens from here as far as if Jake Paul is to were to lose, just how things continue for him, and if he's going to continue to be a long-term player in the sport. But he has gotten better and looked pretty good in his last fights, competition aside.
Yeah. Have you got anything to comment on that, Alex?
I am loving what Jake Paul is doing for boxing. He is bringing so many more eyes to the sport. He's helping, like a Montana Love get a deal. Amanda Serrano making her first seven-figure paycheck. These are big things that it's not a little bit of a shaking up the game. Do I love that he's the main event? No. Do I love that he's making himself seem that he will change? Absolutely not. But it is. We are getting a lot more attention to the game because of him. In this matchup, like you said, Rahman Jr., 100 amateur fights, has fought real boxers. I think Emmanuel Stewart gave him high praise one time, said he was going to be a future heavyweight star or champion. So he's always seemed to possibly have the skills. I believe that last fight against one of Tony Morrison's stepson, he was up on the cards and got caught and got stopped. But it's interesting. This fight is being taken place at 200. Normally, all comes in at 190, and then the same day in the fight, Rahman has to be no more than 215. He's normally 225 or above, so that is a challenge, and we'll be watching. So we'll see what happens, man. If Jake Paul can make this, get this on his record as W, what will he do next? Like I said, probably, if I'm guessing, bring more eyes to the sport. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You can't question that. He is bringing more interest to the sport and making people a lot of money. So, yeah, fair play. So we'll just quickly go over the other two main fights on this card, I guess. So there's Amanda Serrano back after her loss to Kate Taylor. Bit of a controversial loss, possibly. A few months ago against I'm going to butcher this surname. Brenda Carabajal? I'm going to go with that.
Carbajal.
Carvajal, yes.
Carvajal. Cool. Argentinian. I'm guessing this is just kind of a comeback fight for Serrano to get back to winning ways. Can't imagine there be any other outcome.
Yeah, definitely stay busy.
Stay busy fight. And then is that also going to be the same for Brandon Lee against Will Madeira? Go ahead, Alex. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Yeah. Brandon Lee was one of the top amateurs coming, trying to make it to the program, I believe. I mean, he had like $1 million signing bonus when he was a 17-year-old when he signed on. I know one of his best friends in the game is Jerome Boots Ennis. So he's always giving him high praise and receiving it back from Boots.
Yeah.
But he's seemed to kind of fizzle out as of late. especially that last performance. He brought up 135 pounder Zachary Ochoa. They fought at 142 pounds,
Hmm.
and though he did win, it was just unimpressive. So Will Madera has been knocked out by Felix Verdejo in the first round. So
Okay.
Brandon Lee, I mean, does he have to do the same? I wouldn't say that, but yeah, we need something of pure dominance to get you back in the mix. What weight class is he going to be in? 140, 147. Hopefully, he can still make 140. If it's 147, that's going to be very tough for him with the way he's progressing. His dad wants him to box more, and you think with the amateur pedigree, that is something he should be capable of. But I'm unsure at this moment. So
Okay.
yep, Brian, see progresses.
Okay, you just cut out a little bit there, Alex. So we'll move on to Josh in a sec. But I'm just noting here this Will Madera. He's had 3 draw decisions: split draw, majority draw, and a split draw, and then just the one loss to Verdejo. That Alex alluded to, which is quite an interesting record. What are your thoughts on Brandon Lee in this matchup, Josh?
I think Alex pretty much gave a great assessment of everything. I'll just add
Mm-hmm.
that, last fight aside, I have thought that Brendan Lee has looked pretty good. He's had some great moments, especially looking good on Showbox. So it'll be interesting, as he mentioned, to see how he continues to develop because there's definitely not going to be a shortage of top level competition. So he's getting into that territory now, for sure.
Yeah, he's got the resume, and he's young as well. He's only 23. He's already had 25 fights, 22 knockouts. I mean, everything looks the part, doesn't it? So I guess he needs to get through this and then see where he goes from there. Alrighty, I think then. Oh, do we have time to just touch on Virgil Ortiz Jr.? He also fights on that same weekend. Let's just get him up very quickly. 2 minutes. Josh, I'll put you on the spot. Virgil Ortiz Jr., 18-0, 18 knockouts. Quite a big name. He's against Michael McKinson from the UK, who is also undefeated with a 22 wins and a big 2 knockouts to his name. Give us your verdict and thoughts on Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Yeah, I've seen McKinnon a couple of times, but of course, I have loved what I've seen from Virgil Ortiz Jr. as well. I guess the big question will be how does Ortiz look? So this will be his first fight since that weight mishap or whatever it may have been that forced him out of his last fight. So this is at 147, right? So I know the initial thought was that he was going to potentially moving up. Maybe 147 was a little bit too much or too low for him here as he continues to shape out, getting older here. But it'll be interesting to see how he looks and if he comes back in his same form. I think this is going to make for a pretty good clash, and I think Ortiz, just given his tenacity, he has the opportunity to continue that sort of streak he's on of really getting opponents out of there because he seems to have raw power and I like what he has to offer, and I think that all roads at some point, assuming McKinnon doesn't upset the apple cart here, could potentially lead to Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. That's like a great matchup. But then again, the politics of aiming for title shots and things of that nature could get in the way. But that's one I certainly would love to see at some point.
Yeah.
So this should be a good matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex, hopefully you're still with us. Do you want to just give a brief thoughts on Virgil Ortiz Jr. Before we head off?
Absolutely, Virgil Ortiz. He can't miss. I mean, he is knocking everybody out. And I do have an issue though with his weight. Right, last time he had a pull out, and if you actually paid attention, since about 140, he's had mishaps where it hasn't been official that he's missed weight, but he's had to do a second weigh in again. So I hope they're able to, if they have to get a new or hire a nutritionist, which I think would obviously be the most obvious thing to do with the type of challenge he's having with his weight. But yeah, this guy is a major player. Getting through McKinson hopefully gets him closer to the title. It seems that he's been, driving a little bit in circles because he could have had a shot at Terrence Crawford. But I know McKinson has a nice little record, beat Chris Congo, though he only has 2 knockouts.
Yeah.
Taking away the last fight, he had about 6 knockdowns in 3 fights. So hopefully it's a nice fight, and may the best man win. But of course, I got Virgil with another stoppage. Will it be probably about late? I'd say about 8 or 9 round.
Yeah, I go with that final third of the fight stoppage. Nice prediction. All right, we'll call that a day there. We've been going for over 2 hours now, and I know that Josh, you've got your own podcast to be getting done with. Buzz, I appreciate you both being here. I'm sorry if we've eaten into your podcasting time. Everyone who's tuning in and in the chat, you should go out and check out 86 Boxing. Just search for that on YouTube. Josh puts out loads of interesting content, historical boxing content, and he and Boz does a weekly podcast on Sundays. So definitely go and check that out after we finished here. If you want to connect with all of us on Twitter, have a look in the video description. The links are there. I want to say thanks to Alex and Josh for coming along for another live stream again. It's been great having you both, and hopefully we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time if you are both available.
Most definitely look forward to it.
Sweet. And we will come up with another really interesting fight to watch and score with everyone on board. So with that, go ahead, Josh.
But yeah, I'm good as well. I'm with that. Looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to the next one. Jump in the mix there.
Perfect. All right, boys. We'll call that finished. Thanks to everyone who stopped by. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and share the channel amongst all of your boxing communities that you're a part of and your friends. We would very much appreciate that. We'll see you all in a couple of weeks' time. Check Twitter for the schedule. All right. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Thanks.